So my name's Caitlin. I'm the director of Landlocked. And if you haven't checked us out, we have Facebook and Instagram under Landlocked Community. And here we are going to talk about some conservation.
That's right. I'm Josiah Hunt. I was recruited by Caitlin not too long ago through a friend. Heard that she was doing this documentary about conservation here in Arizona and how Arizona's a landlocked state. But that doesn't mean that our trash doesn't end up in the ocean. I was not too familiar with the topic, and I'm still learning, obviously, but it's been really eye-opening, and I've been super stoked to be on the project. And as you can see, we've kind of taken it farther than just the documentary. So this is our first episode of our podcast. So welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome. So bear with us if it's kind of like all over the place or doesn't make sense. I promise we'll get better. But to start with, conservation, what does it mean? What's the definition? I know for me, when I first started getting into this and first started really touching base about conservation, I always kind of knew it had something to do with the earth. I was like, okay, it's like Captain Planet, like hippie tree hugger stuff, right? Yep. But conservation, as defined by the dictionary, is preservation, protection, and restoration of natural environments and wildlife. And so what that means to me is not only do we have to preserve what we have, but we have to protect what we have as well. And so with Landlocked, that really hit home to me when I started this project. The protection and restoration part really hit home to me, because how many times do we go to the parks, even here in Arizona, or go to the lake, and all you see is beer cans and just trash floating around everywhere? Well, it's 10 times that in the ocean. So this really hit home to me, this whole topic of conservation. And so the whole premise behind it was to get other people as emotionally involved as I was, or at least that was the goal.
Right. And before I met Caitlin, I was a plastic toting asshole, and now I'm just an asshole.
Yeah, no more plastic.
No more plastic. That's I'm trying, right? So I think ultimately not everyone's going to be able to go to Starbucks and remember to tell the barista, like, hey, don't give me that straw, man.
Right,
or that
exactly.
lid. Like, what are you doing? Like, not everyone's going to remember to do that. Not everyone can do that. Everybody's busy. Lives, can be all over the place. But I think just having the mindset to want to change and at least be putting in as much effort as you can to change. I got mad at my roommate this week because he was about to throw garbage away without putting it in a bag.
Oh my gosh.
He just had a whole bunch of trash and he was going to take it out to the dumpster. And I was like, first of all, that's just a little bit lazy.
Right.
I'm not going to call you out, but I'm calling you out.
Right. If you're watching.
Yeah. If you watch this, you might, or you might not. I don't know. Sometimes he gets enthusiastic about the stuff I do. Sometimes he don't. So we'll see. I was just these guys were giving me crap for it. They're like, oh, Joe, ever since you started this documentary, you've been
super
hippie and, about the earth and stuff. I'm like, damn right.
Right.
That's you should be.
Right?
Yeah. So I think really what's important is, because even if they stop all production of plastic here in the United States, the United States is not the largest exporter of plastic in the world, so they're still going to make plastic. That's not something that will ever be ever come to a halt. And obviously, every piece of plastic that's made, it'll just be here on the earth forever. But the more companies, the more people that try to create methods of recycling them and repurposing them, will kind of limit how much we need to make, or that companies, should be making, I guess. But when it comes to the personal level, what people can be doing, I think, part of what we've been talking about is coming up with our own personal solutions on different methods to clean up and just kind of help the environment. So, it doesn't always have to be no more plastic, no more trees, because people, everyone's going to use some of those eventually, right? Single-use plastics are pretty seamlessly kind of combined into our everyday life, whether we like it or not. So
yeah, it
just kind of happens. But
yeah, I think you touched on a lot of really great points. The first being that, not everybody can or not everybody will get on board with being eco-friendly or stopping the use of single-use plastics. And I think that would be a really great topic for one of the future podcasts. Is I just started my my halt to single-use plastics probably about a year and a half ago. And it was because I watched a guy that was scuba diving in India. and he had his camera with him, and he was kind of recording like as he was swimming, and it was just full of garbage. And that's what kind of hit me. And I was just hanging out on Instagram, probably in my bathroom, just scrolling, you know, like we do. And I watched that, and I was like, wow. I was like, this isn't okay anymore. So I started my journey, and I took like slow steps to becoming like an eco-friendly house. So we no longer have like plastic Tupperwares. We no longer have plastic water bottles. We have reusable water bottles.
Don't worry, guys. House. I'm going to recycle this after this
That's
podcast.
Right. And, you know, we have a recycling garbage can. We didn't even have one in my house. Like, we had the dumpster, but why use it? That was like a second garbage can at the time. Like, we didn't really know how to recycle. That's the other thing. I don't think a lot of people even really know what's recyclable and how to do it, you know? And so through this time, you know, we, Nathan and I, it's my boyfriend, we've been buying sustainable products. And so I think it'd be really cool if in the future we could do like a reveal of some of these products. Like, do they even really work? Because we've bought some really shitty products, and we're like, what the hell is this? We bought these reusable garbage bags one time, and like I put a can in it, right, for my recycling, and I picked it up and the can just fell right through it. And I was like, what just happened? And I had spent like $30 on these garbage bags.
Well, first of all, the idea of a reusable garbage bag,
right,
that's gonna stink up your house.
Well,
that's
and
nasty,
it wasn't reusable. So let me just back that up. It was biodegradable.
Oh, okay.
So it was one of those things. But even then, like, I don't know. It was a rough transition.
Rough.
Yeah, it was rough.
Well, if we do product reviews, you got a virgin opinion here, because I literally have never used. I don't think I've ever used like an environment, like, I can't speak. Sorry, guys. Environment friendly, like piece of Tupperware or like bottle or that kind of thing. Like,
yeah, and we found, as far as that went, was glass was our friend. Like, the more glass we got, like, the better it is, because not only does it not stain, because I know everybody has experienced this. If you meal prep like we do, like, you put all your food in these Tupperwares, right? And then they sit there throughout the week, and then they stain, like, the inside of that plastic, and you can never get that stain off. Like, I have tried everything short of, like, the tears of Jesus Christ himself, and it still does not get those damn fucking stains off. But the glass, like, it doesn't. So not only is it better for the environment, and they were made eco-friendly, but they also look nicer. Like, I don't have to do so much work to keep them clean. And then even with like Ziploc bags, we have reusable Ziploc bags that are made out of, and they're still made. Yeah, they're made out of like a silicone, and like you wash them, so you can like open them and put them in the dishwasher, and they like wash through. And
that's interesting. I've never heard
that. And for Nicholas, so I have a 6-year-old, and he was throwing those shits away, and those things are like $20 for like 6 of them, right? Even though they're reusable, but like you pack their lunch and he just throws them away like a 6-year-old would. And so we found him biodegradable paper ones at Target, and they have little sharks on them. So I was like, how cool is this? Like, they're like, Target's one step ahead of the game. They're like, we know kids, they're gonna throw this shit away. Well, let's make one with kid designs.
Yeah, let's put some sharks on that.
Right.
That's cool. And another thing too, I mean, like, just from someone who like doesn't know as much obviously about it as you do,
right?
And I've kind of been educated through this whole process myself. One of the things that I really didn't know, I mean, obviously everyone knows that like trash is going to the ocean, and it's like not bad for the earth, just like how global warming is like a big deal,
right?
And it's like, it's happening, right? And like, if you really think about it, it's like, yeah, those things will probably like destroy the earth.
Yeah,
like,
but fake news, right?
But it's like fake news, right? Exactly. But one of the things that, like, you know, if the world ending didn't get to me, it was the fact that like the trash, you have what are called microplastics, and they're tiny microparticles of plastic that get into the ocean, and animals will ingest them, and it'll actually clog up their digestive tract and their stomach, and so they won't be able to eat. So they'll feel constantly full all the time without having any nutrition in their bodies, and they die. And it's really sad.
Right, it is. It's horrible. So, and, you know, Joe and I actually went to California for part of this documentary adventure, which tons of bloopers. So don't worry, guys. We'll be sharing those soon. Jerry, stop.
It's an inside joke. You
guys will eventually be a part of that inside joke.
Eventually. You got to prove yourself, though. Let's get those likes.
Yeah, so we went to California, and the second we hit the beach on Oceanside, there was a bird. That's Caitlin, so
why is
great.
your phone going off? Just put that on silent, all right?
Fine, God, sorry. But the second we went to the beach on Oceanside, we walked up to the beach and this bird was eating a piece of McDonald's plastic. Like the second we got there, and the whole drive out there, we were concerned about like, what if we don't get any content?
yeah.
What if like they already cleaned the beach that day? Da 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 da. And
Which was funny because they did. Like the beach that we went to, we were like, all right, let's find this trash. Let's make this the dopest documentary because there's all this garbage on the beach and people are terrible. And we get there and it's like people are picking up like tiny bits of pieces of trash like across the beach, and we're like, damn.
Right.
it was good. It was a really good thing. Didn't help our documentary.
Right. So we got there, and actually some of the surfers were out there, and every time they'd come in, they'd pick something up.
Yeah.
So we got to meet a few of them and just hang out and get to know like the local community. We tried to stay with someone who was very like knowledgeable of the area. So we stayed in an Airbnb when we went out there to Oceanside.
Good dog, rad pad.
Yeah, good dog, rad pad. It was
because
the
his dog's
coolest.
name was Good Dog.
Was Good Dog. Yeah. He was the best Airbnb host I've ever had. And like we got there like an hour and a half later than normal in like the middle of the night. And he woke up and he was so welcoming and inviting. So if you guys are ever in Oceanside, you gotta look up Good Dog's Rad Pad. Yeah. And his dog really is a good dog, I promise. But he told us about all these beaches, all these different cliffs and stuff. And I really wasn't expecting people to be that friendly, you know what I mean, about it. Like I was just expecting to see people being like, oh, let me put my water bottle in the sand and go play in the water and leave it there. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, they got trash cans across, along the beach. They have, they've made it easier for people to clean up after themselves. So that's a real positive when you look at the grand scheme of things. And when we got there and, we found some, we got some footage of it. There was like a pair of jeans and some other stuff. Yeah, that was
nasty. I picked those up. Those things were gross.
I was like, I'm holding the camera. Sorry.
Right. I was like terrified. I picked up those jeans. I was like, watch like a leg bone fall out of these. Like it came from the ocean. Like, whoa.
Nastiness. Just all sorts of nastiness. I'm like, whose jeans were those?
Oh God. I don't even want to know. Like we're going to pretend it didn't happen.
We found them.
Yeah, because I got Joe jeans.
Yeah, but it was like super cool to see people kind of taking action and cleaning up the area, which is really cool. But yeah, like she was saying, when we first got there was that bird eating that plastic, and it felt so staged. We like showed up, and the bird was like waiting for us, like, "It's my cue." And he brought his McDonald's piece of plastic from his house and put it out on the beach, and then started chewing on it, like, "Here, guys, I'll help you out."
Right.
But it was perfection is probably not attainable, but the effort and the obviously the work that we can put in to get there, or at least push us in that direction, is that's important.
Yeah. So yesterday I went live. Bear with me on social media, guys. Like, I am not technology smart whatsoever. I mentioned I have a 6-year-old. He knows how to use my iPhone better than I do. So it took me, first of all, 30 minutes to find a place in my kitchen, because I was cooking dinner, to like prop the phone up to where like you didn't just see like my stomach or the inside of my oven. And so I went live on Facebook, and I couldn't connect it for some reason to my personal Facebook, so I just shared it from Landlock's page. And then I went live again on Instagram, so we're gonna have to work on that and see how we can connect those two to see if we can get them to go live at the same time. But I had mentioned that we'd be talking about the start of Landlocked and why being at the Odyssey this weekend is so important to us. Well, for those of you who don't know, I did a conservation internship at Odyssey Aquarium. So I watched that video. I got super into like conservation, and I did all kinds of Google research. I have like notebooks full of just research topics of every like different state and what they do and different organizations. And I was like, you know what? I need to get involved more. Like, how can I get involved in Arizona? How can I do this? And so, Odyssey Aquarium popped up for an internship, and I was like, this is great, because I'm graduating this year from college with my bachelor's, and I was like, well, I might even be able to use this as part of my school, if I decide to go to veterinary school, which I have, so that'll be starting soon. But I was like, I'm gonna take the leap. I'm gonna go for this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see where it leads me, and if I don't like it, then I don't like it, and no harm, no foul. But I got connected with the conservation committee and the education committee there at Odyssey Aquarium, and that's here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I learned so much. Like my brain went from like this big, it's like the Grinch, you know, the heart grew 3 times too big. Like my brain grew 3 times too big. And I just met some of the most awesome people there. And so this weekend, like I mentioned in the live video last night, we haven't really been releasing a whole lot. Like we haven't shared the documentary trailer. We haven't shared our bloopers. We haven't really spoken out about where we've been, what we've done, what we're planning. And that's because we are doing our like sneak peek reveal, I would say, this weekend.
Y'all know how it goes. You got to build the hype.
Right. You got to build it. Right. And so we're going to do that this weekend. It is the 2nd annual Conservation Expo at Odyssey Aquarium. So not only will the team that inspired me be there, but I think it's like 50 other conservation groups in Arizona alone are going to be out here too at Odyssey Aquarium. So you guys definitely need to go check that out. There's an event on our page, again, because I'm social media dumb and I created.
You're a lot better than me. You had your phone on silent.
No, speaking of sustainable boyfriend, there he is. But yeah, all these different groups will be there, and we're going to be doing like meet and greets and the trailer launch, and that'll be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I think there's like 2 different times. I think it's 10 a.m. on Saturday and 1 p.m. And then on Sunday and Monday, it's 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Sunday and Monday. And so we'll be there along with some of the other crew members that aren't here on the podcast. Maybe we'll get them involved soon.
Yeah,
they'll be on one eventually. Eventually, you guys will get to know all of us. So,
and we're still growing as a team.
Yeah.
So for up until like a couple of days ago, it was just us 2.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just been like crazy because the amount of people that we've been connected with and that, you know, are interested in the Landlocked project.
Yeah.
And it's just been like 2 of us working on it.
I know it's been a lot, and we work normal jobs too. So it's not like this is all we do. Like we don't just sit here and like write out plans for podcasts and shooting dates and stuff like that. Like we both work a 9 to 5. So when we get like 8,000 phone calls about like, hey, well, how can I get involved? Hey, what can I do? It's been a little bit overwhelming, especially because it like feels like it happened overnight. Like at first it was just me and you in a project, and then all of a sudden there's like a billion people, you know, like, hey, what are you doing? Where can I help? And I'm like, I don't know. Call Joe. And then he's like, I don't know. Call Kate.
Call Caitlin.
But if you want to get involved, let us know. Yeah. We definitely can help you out. I'd like to start doing some cleanups too. I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah,
I mean, an idea that we had that we were talking about actually was because for me, I'm like, I love the idea of making the documentary and doing the podcast just to get the information out there. But for me, that's like half of it. Yeah. The other half of it is what are we doing as an action to help see some of the change that we, you know, are talking about. So one of the things that Caitlin and I had been discussing were it'd be super cool if we could plan a cleanup, have a whole bunch of people come out and help us. We get all the garbage, all the plastic, you know, obviously sort through it and, you know, recycle what can be recycled and then throw away what has to be, what's garbage. And then take what we can to some local artist and have them almost create like an exhibit out of the garbage. And then if we could show it like an art showcase, like here in Phoenix somewhere.
Yeah.
And just get people to show up and support it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of thing where now a whole bunch of people are coming together to actually, one, improve the environment, but also create something out of it that'll inspire other people to do the same thing.
I agree. I think that's an awesome idea. So if any local artists, if you have any ideas, like seriously, let us know. Hit us up. Again, we have Instagram, Facebook. I know the Odyssey Aquarium has a program. And in the documentary, you'll learn more about it, but I'll just touch on it. I'll just do a little tap on it. They have a program called Debris in the Desert. And it is awesome. It's ran by one of their educators, Ben, formerly known as Ben Gwynn, because he does a lot of the penguin encounters and stuff.
First of all, also just completely side tangent. Kaylin is the absolute king of punny names for animals. I'm so great. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. So if any of you are getting pets, come to her.
Let me know.
Let her name them. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
My pets have the coolest name. Maybe one of these days I'll do like this is my house, these are my pets
What
kind of a thing.
what was the name of the snake that you want to get?
Okay, so I have a snake. He's a ball python. I adopted him from Phoenix Herpetological Society. So if you're looking for a reptile, do not pet store shop. Phoenix Herpetological Society. They have tons of different reptiles for adoption. Not only is it cheaper, but you're saving a life. So same concept when you go and adopt a dog versus like going to a puppy place or whatever.
Right.
But anyways, so I adopted my snake from Phoenix Herp, and he's a ball python. He's a juvenile, and I let my son name him, right? So bear with me here. This one's not the greatest, but his name is Slick Dude Bro. And that is my snake's name. And it's short for basilisk.
That's pretty good.
But it's Slick Dude Bro.
Slick Dude Bro.
Yeah, it's my snake. And he is super cool and super fun. Maybe like I'll bring him to a podcast one time. Just
What
let
was
him hang out.
the other name?
So I have fallen in love with reptiles. Like over my internship, I always loved them, but I never thought I'd own one until I realized that like they're really not that hard to take care of. It's just like taking care of a cat, which I have a cat too. So I was like, okay, like I'm a big fan, right? So I decided I finally got Super Sustainable Boyfriend involved, and I was like, we need another snake. And he was like, no, we don't. Like, do you want to get eaten in the middle of the night? Because this is how you get eaten in the middle of the night. So, happy wife, happy life. So same concept. So I have him on board to get another snake. We just haven't decided what kind of snake yet, but we already know the name. His name will be William Snakespeare. So if any of you guys come to me and you're like, hey, I got this snake and I named it William Snakespeare, you're now dead to me. Because that is our family name.
I'll bleep it out. When
right.
You say it. Just have them wait for that. Just the build up until you're going to say it, and then I'll just bleep it. So.
And so a lot of my puns, though, actually, seriously, you guys, if you guys go to Odyssey Aquarium, you go there to hang out. The education team there, they're pretty punny people. I learned some really great ones. Just utterly chaotic.
I'm a punter in training.
We'll get him there one day.
Yeah, one day.
But cool. So this weekend, we've got our meet and greets and the launch going on. I think, we're going to be brainstorming about our next podcast. We kind of want to do like a bi-weekly one, give us some time. So message us, leave a comment, something that you want to see, something you want to learn about as far as conservation topics go. Or if you have any proposal ideas, say, because we've been talking a lot about how can we make a difference here in Arizona. Well, you have to go to the state in order to make any type of real big difference. If you have any ideas for that, like, please let us know. Or any products you're like, hey, I bought this, said it was sustainable.
Review it. Let me know what you think.
Said it was sustainable. Like, is it really? Or are they just like putting a green leaf on it and saying, woo, like it's good? Because I've seen a lot of that too. But
yeah, and ultimately too, another goal for the podcast. I mean, obviously we want to update you guys with the progress where we're at with Landlocked, which is more than just a documentary now. So that's cool. But also, yeah, we have some other ideas, other topics brewing. We're still trying to figure out some of the stuff that we got going on, but we definitely want to keep you guys updated on all that. And I think we just want to have some fun on the podcast. And,
it should be fun.
Saving the planet doesn't have to be all depressing and
it's not
dreary,
all doom and gloom.
Everyone's dying. It doesn't have to be like that. It's about everyone can be alive.
Like, look at this cute seal. Do you want to see what it looks like, Dad?
Yeah, exactly. See what it looks like when it's covered in oil.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, it's just, no one wants to see that. So, yeah, no, we want to try to keep it
light, airy, and fun. That's the other thing. You're never going to do anything unless it's fun, right? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't take out the trash in my house. I don't, because guess what? It's not fun. I make Nathan do it. Like, at least with other things, like I can look at it like a checklist, you know what I mean? Like, if I wash all these dishes and they're put away, everything's good. The garbage, I'm like, that's not fun. I have to walk down, I have a tandem 3-story house, so it's like, I gotta walk down 3 flights of stairs and then back up 3 flights of stairs. Like, you do it. Like, I'm not about that life. Yep. So like, if it's not fun, it's not interactive, it doesn't make you feel good inside, you're never gonna do it.
Yeah,
so
and that's where
what we want.
It comes down to personal discipline. But I mean, I'm the one who takes out the trash at our place because I refuse
to let it
be
stink.
Taken out without a bag. So
right, exactly. Well, at least you're the responsible.
My roommates are watching this. I'm just messing with you.
He's like, I'm watching you. I have a tally right here on my computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. And then hopefully I would like to get some guests and stuff in here too and do see what they have to say. Maybe even some members from the Odyssey Aquarium, maybe some members from some people we meet this weekend. So that's another really cool thing about the Conservation Expo is that we get to meet people. Like we're meeting all of these groups, some of them for the first time, you know what I mean? So we might just expand our knowledge even more and then expand theirs too. You know, they might not know about Landlocked. They might not know about what we're doing. And so I think the more connections possible, the better it's going to be.
Right. Think so. Well,
Cool.
I think it's been like 20 something minutes.
Yeah, I think we're good.
We're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to
thanks.
say that.
Yeah,
We need a
right?
name for our audience. I was thinking about
know.
that. What do we?
I know. You guys let us know. You tell us what you want to be called. If
Should we
it's,
call them
hey
keys?
guys,
Should we call them keys? 'Cause
keys.
it's like landlocked.
Yeah, you guys could be the keys. The
See,
keys.
that was like my attempt at a pun. How was that?
Well, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We also have a YouTube, so this will be up on YouTube here shortly. And then we'll be sharing and hanging out. So come see us this weekend.
Do
Come
it.
watch this podcast and then stay tuned because we're going to have a ton more coming up.
That's right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.